Look, grind hard, well done, sir. And welcome to the freaking well show. And party central to my well ones. A night of violated hell codes. Dope sells like the charge do, but selling's all about potential.
Hey guys, what's going on? Romer the Romer here. I'm traveling the country, interviewing super cool people. And today I have Amazon Lit. We got Eric and Sebastian here.
What's up, everybody?
The first time I saw them was a few months ago. I saw like a post that came up. I think he did hashtag FBA. And it came up and I saw fucking like 2 million in sales. I was like, who the hell is this dude? I checked out your page. You didn't have that much posted. I was like, who is this guy? Like, I looked at his page and he was like super humble. I don't know if that's a word for it, but he wasn't posting much. And then a couple months later, saw him at the Reezy event, whatever you call that, ReezyCon, whatever the hell he calls that.
ReezyCon.
That's eventually what he wants it to be called.
Like
and I was like, yo, like these guys are legit, so we connected and I got them here today. So how'd you guys get into it?
I think Sebastian would be best to answer that question. He started the business, so.
Okay.
It started in 2013. Got into it because I was a bartender and a waiter and just was not happy with the lack of growth I was seeing, and I was looking for more opportunity. I heard of an opportunity with Amazon, and it was more than books at the time. And so I just decided to take a chance, and I started with the retail arbitrage. Had a few $1,000s. I quit my job and I went all in.
Yeah.
All in right from the beginning.
So you just started like sourcing at like Marshall's?
I started sourcing at Costco, BJ's, Sam's Club. And I went all in. And back in 2013, there weren't all the apps. There wasn't even the Amazon seller app at that point. So you'd go into the store.
What year is this?
2013.
There's no Amazon seller app?
No. Nope.
Wow.
Nope. So you're going into the store. You're writing down on a notebook all the products that you have of interest, writing down their item number, UPC, then going back home, getting on the computer, seeing if it makes sense.
That wasn't even that long ago.
It's not that long ago.
Wow.
Shortly after I started, came out with Profit Bandit. That was the first one of its kind. Profit Bandit was where you could go into the store, start scanning it, and it would show you the profits. So that was the first one that like revolutionized things for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it started.
Holy cow. So you were a bartender, and what were you doing before Amazon?
So I've known Sebastian for 17 years.
Okay.
About, right? If not.
Probably longer.
So, yeah. So we go way back. And I remember when he first started selling products in his basement. I went into his basement. He was living at Humble Ted's house, one of our business partners. And I went in his basement and he had, I don't know, maybe 400 or 500 products?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? It was like right around this time. It was like Christmas
what kind of products
time.
were there?
It was like chocolates and like
Kirkland fish
oil. Yeah, Anton Berg's.
The first product I ever sold, I just looked at it yesterday because my data scientist wanted some more information about our original order. So I looked. Number one was Kirkland fish oil. One Kirkland fish oil sold to somebody in Jamaica, New York. So shout out to whoever you are.
You said data scientist?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's somebody that looks into the data that Amazon's providing, like through MWS and and APIs, and then just kind of gives you more information, insight into your company.
Gotcha.
Yeah, guy's a genius.
Gotcha. Sweet.
So I went in his basement. He had 400 or 500 products, and I literally laughed at him. He's like, I'm selling products on Amazon, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Everyone did. In 2013, everyone did. He wasn't the only one. I didn't have one friend that was like, that's a great idea. Everyone's like, you're carrying boxes up and 50-pound boxes, bringing them to the UPS store. Like, what are you doing and why?
Was there anyone on YouTube you were learning from at this point? Like, how'd you learn everything?
Just obsess about it.
Wow.
Obsess about it. 18 hours in the basement. I'd go to sleep at 2 in the morning. I'd be up at 6, 7 in the morning and right back into the basement and just obsess about it. I knew absolutely nothing about it.
Damn, so you guys started with retail arbitrage. And then did you guys become partners on the retail arbitrage level before wholesale?
It came at the wholesale level.
Okay.
Yes.
So I came in the beginnings, I would work with him a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, stickering products in the warehouse, processing inventory to be sent to FBA. And then you brought me on as, I don't know if it was like a manager or it was just like an employee to begin with. And then you stepped me up to a managerial position. And then that was in the second or third warehouse, Pinebrook.
That was the second warehouse.
Yeah,
I think you were there in the second warehouse version 1.
Yeah.
Remind me, what were you doing before? Like right before?
I was a college student.
Okay.
College student, construction worker.
Did you finish or did you just quit?
I did, yeah. My degree's on the wall over there.
Sweet. Hell
So
yeah.
it's right on this wall on the left.
Oh,
yeah. Took me 12 years to get that
We'll
degree.
pan the camera up there later. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of resellers like talk shit about graduating college. I graduated college too, and like it's not like you have to quit school. Like I don't know.
No,
It's like people obsess over that. Like fuck school, blah blah blah, and I'm like, you can do both.
Listen, the education brought me value because
Yeah.
it taught me like life skills like accountability and dedication and discipline.
I agree with that. Like I learned how to focus like studying for organic chemistry. Like granted, I'm not fucking using organic chemistry now, but it taught me how to sit down and focus, which I think both you guys would agree. Like you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to sit down and just bang shit out.
Hyper focus.
Yes.
Hyper focus, especially when you get to like where the level of the business where it is today, where we have 34 employees and they're bringing in their problems. It's like
Exactly.
tiny little
It's like the test just
wildfires
got
are
harder.
happening.
The test is like an
Yeah.
OChem test versus like a general chemistry test. So like you can't just fuck around anymore. Like I used to study with my friends and then I'd be like, okay, these guys are just fucking around. Like we're not getting anything done. We studied for 4 hours, but that 4 hours it wasn't focused versus like a 2.5, 3 really good hours with smart people. That was good. And I'm realizing the same thing with business now because if you fucked around at this stage of your business, like every hour now is so much more important than when you got started.
Yeah.
You know, because there's some like the problems are like exponentially huge.
We were just talking yesterday, and essentially a large percentage of our job, we're just there to put out fires.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I feel now. My business is like not even like close to what you guys are at. Like I imagine that's all you guys do.
Pretty much every day. It's you try to get work done, and every 10 minutes someone's in the office.
The
which we
greatest
appreciate,
thing,
but-
greatest thing is it taught me is that life is solution based. Like so, no longer do I try to bring problems outside of my life to it. I don't complain about anything. I'm just always looking for solutions because that's
Gotcha.
all I do at work is try to find solutions to problems.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah. So, what was like the transition from retail arbitrage to wholesale?
So it wasn't just one giant. It was a small, smooth transition. So I think the first one was, I would say, BJ's. I found out they had a global wholesale site that you could purchase from, and so I started the wholesale with them, and then slowly I moved on.
Are
to
you
other
still a one-man army at
distributors.
this point?
Yes. No. By this point, I have my uncle who's doing it part-time, Humble Ted. And
What's he helping with? Just
he'll
packing stuff?
do like stickering and help at night.
Okay.
At this point, and 2 or 3 employees at the time. We had 2 or 3 employees by the time. So we started in July of 2013. By the 4th quarter, we already had 2 or 3
Gotcha.
employees because it was we were in a small 2,000 square foot warehouse, completely crammed in there, and we needed some extra help with stickering.
And so was your job at the time just to go out and find shit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then I was essentially in charge of all of Seller Central. Anyone who was on the team at that point was just helping with the labor because it's labor intensive. There's stickering, there's packaging, there's throwing products in boxes, and so we needed people on the team to do that.
So you guys are completely done with retail arbitrage at this point, obviously,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So it was a transition. Was wholesale like a lower like profit margin? Was retail arbitrage higher profit margin? Like when you started ordering wholesale products, was it
On an individual item basis, yes, but when you look at it in a time range, absolutely not because you're doing way more volume.
Gotcha.
So what I could retail arbitrage in a day, let's say on a good day, and I could retail arbitrage maybe 1,000 units on a good day. Now today we can on a good day we'll do 7,000 to 8,000 in wholesale, but that means fully packaged and ready to ship to Amazon.
Yeah, it's more volume. That's the wholesale aspect. More volume, lower margins, higher volume.
Okay. And so for you, this is your first business.
Yes.
And was this your first business as well? Or
Yes, it was.
did you guys ever have like side hustles growing up, like selling bubble gum at school?
Yeah.
A couple side
Yeah,
hustles.
a couple sides.
You remind me of like a kid that would just be selling bubble gum like at
Jewelry,
school.
candy.
Did you do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That taught me a lot about, and we incorporate that into our life today. Like just that everyday grinding and hustling. You know, understanding gross profits, net profits, you know, the back and forth with customers. Now we incorporate that into the back and forth with the wholesale distributors we deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you guys are dealing with a lot. So like these numbers are fucking crazy to me. Like I'm not even really familiar. Like 2 million like a month. What did it take to get to that point?
It took a lot of change. I mean, just to simplify, like who I was 5-6 years ago, who Eric was, wouldn't allow for the business to be where it is. So if you're new or starting and you want to get into e-commerce, just go for it. Like, don't look at our numbers. Just go for it, and then as you have to grow, right? I'm sure you're not the same person you were when you started the business.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I look back like a year ago, and it feels like 5 years ago. I was talking to one of the book guys, and I just can't, like, so much change has like happened, just because like it requires it.
It does.
Yeah.
You're forced.
Especially
you're
like once
forced
you start
to,
building a team, it's like, because now like you're almost like daddy in a sense. Like,
Yes.
you gotta watch out for everything going
Yes.
on, because if you fuck up, then everyone's out of jobs.
Right.
You know.
Right. I understand the impact of a leader. So exactly what you said, like a father figure. So if people make mistakes, I have to correct them, but at the same time, I don't get emotionally entangled by it. I don't go cursing them out or something, because that's bad for culture. Really bad for culture if the leader, or if things go bad, I'll call Eric into my office. They won't even know. And I'll say, Eric, we got to look at something. He'll come into my office, and then I'll drop it on him, and we'll be like, shit, let's figure this out. But nobody outside of the circle is going to know that something drastic just happened, right?
Yeah.
And then we fix it, and no one will ever know that there was some issue, whether it's like an Amazon IP complaint or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you don't go out of your office and be like, Eric, the business is about to fucking
Yeah.
collapse.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that. So, and that's part of being a leader, keeping your composure.
Where'd you learn that from?
I was forced to, just like you said. I was forced to.
So did you have like role models growing up, play sports?
Yeah, I did, but that's not where I got
think
it
so?
from. No, I
Gotcha.
know I was
It was
forced.
like something like where you were like,
If-
your back was against the wall and you just had to grow up.
If anything, I'm a workhorse, and I get that from my mom. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So a lot of people watching, you know, they're interested in wholesale because like they're tired of doing retail arbitrage, or maybe they're doing books but they're tired of going out and working. So I think a lot of people have a vision that like almost like private label, where you can do wholesale and like remain really small. Is that true? And if so, like, should they even be thinking that way?
It really depends on what you want to do with it. You can keep it small, you can grow it. It depends on if it's a full-time hustle for you or if it's just like an after-work hustle. You know, it's really how much work are you willing to put in, is how fast and how large you can grow it.
Yeah.
And
This is our full-time hustle,
Yeah.
so.
And the wholesale model you implement. So whether it's like you're looking for some brands and you want exclusivity with them and you're going to really cater to their needs and take care of the wholesale business that way, or if you're going to go out there and get a little bit of everyone and try to have this huge volume business. So there's plenty of ways to even do wholesale. Like you could wholesale books, you know, or you could bring on employees for books and have them do it and pay them in percentages or pay them in hourly rates, whatever it is, and you won't have to touch it. Kind of like what we were discussing before we turned on the camera.
Yeah. So what's the most important part then? Is it like actually finding the connections, the wholesale leads, I guess? Is that what you guys call them? Like when you land an account?
Yeah.
Or is it like just logistics? Like what's like the bottleneck with wholesale?
So it's so many different working parts that go into it. It's like a car. Like if one's not working right, your car's not gonna
Gotcha.
run.
What's the hardest for people to get over? Like, is it just like landing their first account?
Yeah, the first
say
account,
so.
the persistence, the sourcing of the sourcing. That's what it is. It's sourcing those.
Finding
leads.
the companies, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I imagine over time, you not only get better at it, but you kind of build a reputation for
Yeah,
yourself. And you're like, hey, look, we got 5 other accounts or 100 other accounts.
Absolutely.
And then you sound more legit.
Absolutely.
That first call, you're just like, you don't have any business. Like that's how I feel a lot of times, especially like first posting content. Like nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
But once you get those first few leads, people start respecting you, and it becomes easier and easier and
Yeah.
easier, and you can start saying no.
Yes.
And that's
same thing.
Absolutely, and that's really the value of having, we offer mentoring, and the value of having someone who's done it before explain it to you. Because if you don't know what you're talking about and you call one of these companies and you're like, yeah, I need to order some products, and like you're placing an order for 16 units, but it comes in cases of 12, and you're not using item numbers, just like all these small things, they're instantly going to know that you have no idea what you're talking about, and they're probably not even going to respond to your emails.
Yeah.
To have someone explain that to you and like tell you like this is what you need to say, this is how you need to say it, this is what you need to, produce in order to get the company to trust you.
Got it.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. So you kind of need to be like a salesman.
Yeah, you need to know the lingo. It's a whole, just like if you're going to go into any business, you need to know what you're talking about.
So what if you're introverted? So you just stay away from wholesale?
No, I'm introverted.
Yeah,
you just have to get someone like an Eric.
Gotcha.
No, but you have to know.
Is that what you use him for, mainly?
No, it just so happens, he's more of a people person, and I'm more introverted, and it's okay. You have to know where your weaknesses are and where your strengths are.
Gotcha.
Right? So, but I was introverted and I got wholesale accounts, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got most of almost, I would say, 60-70% of our wholesale accounts.
So,
not more.
Yeah, and so I don't think that should be anything to stop you. If you want it, you'll get it. I get angst right now thinking about the rejections I've gotten at trade shows and phone calls. It bothers me, of course. I take it personally, but then I still have to do it again because it's like, okay, Sebastian, it's either you stop now or you move forward, and stopping is not an option.
Gotcha. So are you guys still pursuing like lots of new accounts? Is that just an ongoing thing, or does it get to the point where it's like we're good now? Because you're just getting like constant influx of inventory.
We are good, but we just want to capitalize on every opportunity.
So is that y'all's job then to like go out and find these accounts, or you guys have like a team of people that call as well?
No, we build all the relationships with their accounts, but we also offer an incentive for our team members. If someone brings us an account and it ends up making us money, we give them a bonus.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not like their job. But like Caddy, one of our managers downstairs, she brought us an ethnic food company. Ended up working out really well. So
is that for like any level employee, even like someone just
any
like
level,
any level, no restrictions.
Any level will get a nice bonus.
Nice.
Yeah, because you know what, we can only have they might have a family member or friend that has a business, and if we incentivize them, there's an opportunity that we didn't even think of. So now we have 35 opportunities walking around all day, every day, with their ear to the street, seeing if there's an opportunity for Amazon Lit.
Smart. I have my listers, my team of listers that pack books for me. They hustle books too. They come across books on the street or whatever. They pick them up and they can list them and get a % of the profits.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome having like your team also go out and source for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So out of that 2 million, like what are you guys looking at like payout wise? If you're comfortable answering questions like that, as far as like cash flow, because you guys have what 35?
Yeah. So
30
Amazon keeps about 40% of it.
Okay.
That's their referral fees, shipment fees,
yeah.
pick and pack, fulfillment, advertising, everything included. It's about 40% they're keeping.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then most of that money like is going. Obviously, you got to pay the bottom line people packing stuff up.
Exactly. So
then
we have our comp, workman's comp, our payroll, and the warehouse,
Rent,
the utilities.
I'm just thinking like the levels. Like there's the people packing the boxes,
Yes.
and then like you have the people managing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which they're making sure everything's good. What else are the managers doing besides just making sure like stickers are being peeled or packed right?
That's what they do. They're making sure that the products are going out in a timely manner. We expect all the products that come into our warehouse to be leaving our warehouse within 72 hours.
Okay.
So they're making sure that happens.
Gotcha.
Quality control as well. They're ensuring that it's being sent out correctly because we process anywhere from 200 to 300 different products a day. So one wrong sticker could be it could mean an Amazon complaint, customer complaint, getting the listing closed. So
Gotcha.
that's really, they pay huge attention to quality control.
Do you guys utilize virtual assistants at all?
We have 2 right now. But not much.
They
Are they like
sort data.
Okay. Are they like overseas
Yes.
or
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they don't do much.
Yeah, I pay mine $3 an hour, so it's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah, what do they do for you?
Manage my account. They reply to all emails for restricted inventory. So when people, send an email about restricted inventory, they'll respond. We have like a list of frequently asked questions. They have labels for them, stuff like that. So would be nice to have an American doing that though, because we're getting to the point where it's like customer service almost. People get pissed dealing with overseas people.
There's some great websites that you can get like fluent speaking, people who are overseas but speak English.
Gotcha. Yeah, they say sir a lot. I don't know if you guys deal with that or not. It's kind of funny. They say like sir like 8 times in the email. And they're like, I'm gonna drop your pay if you call me sir.
That's crazy, $3. That's nuts.
Yeah, it really is.
That's what we're paying ours, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
$3?
I believe it's 3.
Nice.
I believe we got them through guru.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's always, I recommend like retail arbitrage guys. And tell me your 2 cents on this. Like, I think it's crazy that retail arbitrage guys go out and spend like $2,000 on Legos, and then they're probably making, I don't know, like $1,500, $2,000 off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe less. I don't know what the profit margins are, but then they spend their whole Friday and Saturday packing that shit up. I'm like, dude, why don't you pay someone $100 to do it, or hire a virtual assistant? I always say hire a virtual assistant first, and just get in the habit of, instead of checking your Amazon feedback, instead of doing all this shit yourself, have someone go in there and do it for you. Now you have an extra 15 minutes to an hour a day free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because time is so fucking valuable.
To grow your business, absolutely.
Yeah. What's your opinion on that for retail arbitrage guys? Should they, is it scalable? Should they hire a team, or should they just move on to wholesale?
I think it's scalable. I mean, to some extent, but the concern has to be with Amazon. It doesn't seem like they're getting any less strenuous when it comes to IP complaints. And a lot of the clients that I've worked with, I know Eric has, I have a call tomorrow. It's a problem when Amazon hits you with an IP complaint, even if it's baseless, but then they ask for invoices and you can only provide receipts. Technically they're supposed to take receipts, but a lot of the times they provide receipts and they get the same response saying we need an invoice from an authorized supplier.
You probably experience that more and more as volume increases. It's probably just like left and right.
It happens more, but because the algorithm looks at a percentage level, it's not as detrimental as to like a small seller who might get that.
And that's not a problem with wholesale, because you have the invoices?
Yes, you have invoices from authorized suppliers, exactly.
Still time consuming and takes up and it's strenuous and.
Could you get a virtual assistant to do it?
No, you just this is your account health. Like it's got to be someone higher up.
Yeah, I feel that.
And listen, virtual assistants are great, but the way we feel is like, before I can pay somebody to do the job, I need to understand it fully 100% myself.
So how do you guys deal with that? Like, understanding the job completely, what's the next step? Do you guys like write out a manual for the job, or do you train someone in depth and then have them train other people, or both? What do you guys do?
We train in depth. We have a handbook as well, or our company guidebook and employee handbook, but we also do a lot of training. Eric does an extensive amount of training as well.
Yeah, I saw those videos on Instagram, breaking it down on the whiteboard.
Exactly, and we pass on that information that way. We sit down with them, we teach them. We have a new user interface we just implemented this week, and so I'm sitting down with the buyers, I'm showing them all that. Eric sits down with the buyers every day, different buyers, and he's going over orders with them and bringing some insight. So it's absolutely, it's constantly training them and improving their skill set.
Wait, what are buyers?
Those are our purchasers, our procurement team.
They buy all the products that we sell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Sebastian and I, we probably purchase 10% of the products that we sell, and we have a team of 5 buyers who purchase the other 90%.
How often do you run into a product that like tanks in price?
All the time.
How do you prevent that? Is there like a certain technique to like, I don't know, like go upstream, get like the most gated products possible?
Well, I think early on you have to really use Keepa a lot, or some sort of camo, something where it's going to give you price history and you could really review the product 3-6 months and make sure that you can capitalize on it and that the price hasn't dropped to a point where you're not making money on it.
Yeah.
Right? But for us, with the volume we do, we can sit on it when it's when it drops, or if we need to for some reason, we'll sell it out and just move on to the next one and source better the next time around.
Yeah. About 10% to 15% of our inventory we lose money on. So that's, close to $300,000 a month.
And that's just due to price tags.
Yeah, it's just, listing. Yeah, Amazon jumps on the listing. We analyze the listing. Look at Keepa. Do we have a chance of selling it for a profit in the future? If it's been in stock 5-6 months and there's no chance, I'd rather get, even if I paid $10 for the product, I'd rather get $5 back and invest it in more profitable inventory.
Gotcha. Is a wholesale business, is that something you can sell eventually? Like you have all the leads, you have your warehouse, is it something you could put together and say this business is worth this much? Or is it similar to like a reselling business? If you don't have, cut that out maybe, probably just leave it in there.
Oh, I gotta take this.
Okay.
It's Amazon. I would not stop it if it was.
Wow.
I know that number.
Best of luck, man.
Yeah, good luck,
I
bro.
know how that is.
We've been waiting for this call though. It's like an important
Okay.
one,
Good news?
Oh, well, we don't know. Hopefully.
Man.
They say jump, and we say how high.
Does it say Seattle at the
Yeah,
bottom?
yeah.
It's so scary.
Yeah,
Get that.
yeah. He was just on the phone with them this morning.
They called me from Seattle one time, and I was like all excited, and it was still someone from overseas.
Yeah,
I was like, you guys are disrespecting me right now.
Yeah, so that's Chase from Amazon's private label brand, about one of our private labels. He's been trying to have us sell it exclusively on Amazon, not knowing that we're already selling it on Amazon. He's contacting us as the brand that we own, because we have plenty of private label. We have 4 private label brands on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's another issue with Amazon, is that there's too many teams. So there's a team right now contacting me, telling me that, hey, there's an opportunity if you sell your brand online. And I played dumb, and I'm like, oh, but how about the third party seller that sells it online? And they're like, well, we can help you to sell it at a lower price and help you to advertise, so he won't be able to compete with you. I'm like, oh, interesting. Send me some more information, Chase.
Yeah.
So he was calling me back because we talked on Friday.
We are the third party.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're the third party seller and also the brand, but he's not seeing that connection on his side.
Nice.
He's just seeing the brand, and he's contacting, I guess, brands around the country, trying to have them sell directly on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Amazon's trying to. So wait, how's that benefit them? Are they trying to they're not trying to sell it under Amazon's name?
No. It's just they have 500,000 employees in different departments. So this is another department created, and then they have their other department, their wholesale division, and the specs team, who's like all 4 third party sellers, and all these departments are almost like competing against each other, and that's why Amazon is as big as they are, and whoever makes it out alive is the better option for Amazon to move forward, and that's how they keep growing.
Gotcha. So how's private label compared to wholesale? Just do you need as big of a team for private label? Because I know private label guys, at least on YouTube, I don't know if they're fronting or not, but it seems like it's just them and a VA, and they're doing like $1 million a year or something. Is that
you don't for private label? You could have a smaller team, definitely. It doesn't take. It takes. You have, once again, it's about sourcing, so you have to find the right factory to have it made in. All of our products are U.S. based. And then you have to learn advertising. You still have to learn Seller Central.
Yeah.
You have to. What Eric said is so important. He said at the beginning, I strongly recommend learning every part of your business before you give it to a VA. Because then how are you going to know if they're doing something wrong if you haven't done it before?
Yeah. The same with employees, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, how can you teach? How can you correct if you yourself haven't done it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like we spend time in the warehouse, especially as of recently. Ted was he was giving me shit the other day. Like, I need to spend more time downstairs, and I 100% agree with him. I'm spread super thin, but it's important for me to spend time downstairs, because I could spend 15 minutes down there, I can point out, changes that could be made, streamlining their efficiencies, just little nuances that can increase production,
Okay. I've been reading, have you guys read The E-Myth?
No.
I've been reading that book, and it's all about, like, it focuses on McDonald's and how they made a standard operating procedure and how, like, an idiot can come in and take a place.
Yes.
Do you guys update SOPs often?
We make changes to them absolutely all the time.
How important is that to you guys, or is it kind of like on the back burner?
Very important.
Okay.
And very important that things are done universally the same.
Yeah.
100% in our business.
Yeah.
So when you're going down there, all this stuff you're seeing, are you guys writing it back down in the SOP?
Well, we implement it through procedures, and then Eric passes it on, and he trains, and then that's kind of set standard.
Okay.
That's set standard. It's on the managers to pass on that information. But a lot of what we do with like our system that we've developed ourselves, it's getting to a point where it's going to almost make kind of funnel everything in a certain direction. Kind of the same way you said Amazon, McDonald's procedures have to be in a certain way. That's what our system is pushing to happen. It's getting closer and closer every day to that.
Yeah. And our SOPs, they're more, to write them down, right, from our perspective, every week our business is changing.
Gotcha.
Right? There's like a new implementation, a new change in Amazon, a new change in our warehouse. So to document that, we feel when we give it to them on a piece of paper, it becomes like set in stone, and then making adjustments in the future is that much more challenging. So we train them, vigilantly. And we express that this is how we're going to do things, and then if there's a change, we retrain them on the changes.
Gotcha.
So it's more hands-on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know how that is. Amazon's always changing. I don't like making tutorial videos on Seller Central because it's just like
it's
so
outdated.
like the interface just like changes. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah. What tips would you have for guys just getting into this? That they're watching this video, they're getting all hyped up. Like, would you say like dive in head first? Okay.
Exactly. Take action. Take action. Take action. Be prepared to.
What's that first step look like? Like what is taking action?
The first step is opening an account.
Okay.
Right? First step, you have to open an account. Second step, you have to do some retail arbitrage to learn the account. So it's a big difference if you go retail arbitrage and you purchase $100 and make a mistake, versus going wholesale, purchasing $10,000 and making that mistake, right?
Gotcha.
So start with the retail arbitrage and learn Seller Central and learn the fundamentals through YouTube, through courses, there's so many different methods of learning, but go fully engulf yourself. Don't spend your weekends watching TV or going out with the boys. Spend it learning the business if you really want to grow a successful business. And then slowly grow. And don't look at... one thing I never did was I never looked at my competition. At least not on Amazon, right? I don't look at the guys on Amazon. My competition is like Costco, Walmart. Like, these are people I want to inspire or aspire to be like. And
Gotcha.
Versus like looking at where my competitor is today. Now, that doesn't mean I won't look at some of the processes they do and try to possibly implement those, but I never envy what they have and I don't.
Gotcha. Okay. How important is social media for you guys?
For our consulting business, it's huge.
Okay.
It's an outlet to let everybody know, like, hey, this is what we do every day.
Yep.
And it's not like this is literally what we do every day. We sell products on Amazon for a living.
Yeah.
We got the warehouse, we got the employees. So it's important, that people have access to us as consultants to be like, wow, these guys are the real deal.
What's the incentive for that, for consulting? Like, why give away all the secrets? This is something I ask myself a lot.
Yeah.
Too.
So there's a few reasons. One, we're believers in the universe, and we both feel that the more we give away, the more will we receive in return. And also financial freedom. There's huge money in consulting.
Exactly.
Huge money. And people will pay for knowledge, and we have a shit ton of knowledge, Sebastian and I. We've been doing this combined for almost 12 years, and the knowledge we have is just astronomical when it
As far as like,
selling on Amazon.
you said you have 180 consultants.
Yeah, we've consulted with 180 clients. Correct?
How many of those like have ROI down the road? Maybe they come across a product that they're not, ungated in, or maybe just like they don't want to take it on. Does it ever lead to like connections with other like lead generation, whatever it's called, like wholesale leads? Do your clients ever help you get that?
Yeah, absolutely. We learn a lot from our clients. We
Yeah.
teach them a lot, and we learn a lot, and a lot of them are so grateful for all the information that they provide for us that they give us little tips and tricks, maybe about selling on eBay.
Gotcha.
Or like, how to enhance a listing, just like little
So you guys
things.
sell on eBay too?
Yeah,
do
small
eBay,
amount.
Jet, and
Yeah,
Walmart. Yeah.
I had 5 listings on eBay. And I took them all down because I was tired of getting orders. I just didn't even know where the book was.
Yeah.
Yeah, eBay, I don't know, 10 grand a month maybe. It's nothing.
Okay.
eBay helps us with our Amazon returns and flea market items, damaged products. So that's where eBay comes in hand. for
Gotcha.
us. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How much does it freak you out that like Amazon could just shut down your account like that? And how do you guys combat that?
Well, they're not going to just shut down an account like that. I mean, I've gone before onto the forums and read that or in the groups, and then I think I step back for a moment because fear starts jumping in. I'm like, wait, they're not telling me the same. They're not telling me the whole story because here I am 6 years in, and Amazon hasn't shut me down just like that. Have we had issues? Are some things that I consider completely unfair or irrational happening? They are, but we combat those. We stay proactive, and our account stays active.
You guys, what was really interesting to me about you guys is you have a connection. You guys met like an Amazon rep at one of these networking events, right?
No, they actually gave us a rep.
Really?
Yeah, so they gave us a rep.
At what point was that? Was it like a sales number or?
I don't know. It was about 2 years ago. They
Nice.
gave us our own rep. But I've also definitely been to the Amazon show, their seller event, which
Down in
they've
New
done.
Orleans, right?
They've done 2 now. One in New York, one in New Orleans. I don't know when the next one's going to happen. So I got to meet a lot of people there, and we've also had 3 different category managers come to our facility and visit us and get insight
That's awesome.
about third-party sellers from us. So
And so, are they more interested in the wholesale component or the private label?
I think they're just interested in money and
Yeah,
numbers.
they're interested. They want us to grow, so they get 15%
That's so
of
cool.
every single product we sell.
Yeah.
So
It's
they're
insane.
making millions of dollars a year off.
Are
of
you guys
us.
merchant fulfilling at all?
We
Yeah.
do some, yeah. We
Okay.
do some seller fulfilled prime and merchant fulfilled.
And on-site,
Yeah.
so we have a couple programs we're part of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then these softwares you're making, are they to like capitalize on like, is it more profitable to sell merchant or FBA, or is it like bigger than that? Is it like lead generation? Like, what are these softwares really looking for?
It's just a fully, it's like a full ERP system.
Okay, I don't know what that is. What's the ERP?
So it's an enterprise solution. So it's a solution for your whole business. So every aspect of e-commerce, whether it's creating invoices, for Avid one day or having invoices filed, whether it's creating listings for eBay, Walmart, Jet, and Amazon at the same time, you name it. Whether
Product research.
product sourcing.
COGS, tracking COGS. It's endless.
It's the hazmats, creating shipments. It does every aspect of the online business. It's essentially like Seller Central on steroids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To put it, listen, Sebastian's been leading this development team for 18 months now, and like just even thinking about it, I get goosebumps. This shit is gonna revolutionize. Like nothing like this exists in the world.
So are you guys gonna eventually sell this?
Possible.
If we do, it'd probably be to like huge companies.
Gotcha.
Like a Procter and Gamble that might want to do it themselves, or
Okay.
maybe we could sell ourselves to them, showing them our capabilities.
Like the whole business?
Sell ourselves as far as not sell the business, but sell ourselves. Like, hey, this is why you should have exclusivity
Okay.
with us, because here's what we can bring, and here's our system and what we've implemented in our process.
Yeah, nothing like this exists. We've tried dozens of softwares, repricers, inventory management systems. The only way to fix it was to build our own.
Yeah, I really don't think I would sell it. It's like, People always ask, like, what's your price tag? I was like, I don't know, what's your price tag? I'm selling one of your kids.
Eric wants to sell it, I think.
Well, maybe offering it as a service, not the whole package.
Oh, the software we
Yeah.
would sell. I'm talking about the company.
Oh, okay.
The company itself.
Yeah,
The
no,
software,
100%.
Yeah, software we would sell.
Yeah. As
So
a
it
SaaS
does
system?
it does everything.
Yeah.
It lists, reprices. Sounds like it does a lot of cool stuff. What did you use starting out for listing? Did you use Seller Central?
Yeah.
Yeah, bulk flat file uploader.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I know some clients of ours, they use Inventory Lab. That seems pretty cool. But yeah, we just did flat file
You
uploaders.
can't do that with books. With books, each book's a different listing. So
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, you could do it, but
What do you use?
I started out with ScanLister, and then I was like living in my car, and my laptop broke, so I got a Chromebook, and AccelerateLister was like a web-based app. I started using that, but now that I have a team of like 10 plus people that list on my account, it's nice because I can just log in.
Yeah, yeah.
ScanLister is like a license key, so
Yeah.
simple shit. It matches our source to the SKU, and it lists fast, and that's all we care about.
Can you
so.
create your own SKUs?
Mm-hmm.
Like merchant-specific SKUs?
Yeah, so when people send me books on restrictedinventory.com, it's going to be their first dash last name, and that's going to be in the SKU.
Yes.
And then it's going to be like, if it's a textbook, we might put a TXT SKU, and then we'll put the date in there. Some people have really long names, though, so like we've like limited it to like just the source, like at certain times, because it can't go over 40 SKUs, or 40 characters, so.
Something you could do is just characters. Like 4 characters for the first name, 4 characters for the last name.
Yeah, we could do that, but the thing is, like, we have like 5 Andrews already, and we're not that big.
Yeah,
so,
You got an Andrew Smith, you're done.
I started out with just Andrew, and then I was like, I got to do first and last name because we're gonna lose track quick.
Yeah.
So
Like a database system you should do. Like, there's nothing complicated, but like all database systems, every attribute that gets added to it has a unique ID. So you could give everyone a unique ID and just put it to their name.
well,
And
how's that
increment it? So like the first person 01, next person 02, and the number can go forever.
Gotcha.
And so it doesn't matter if you have 2 different Andrew Smiths; they all have different IDs.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think the date kind of combats that, but if we had 2 Andrews on the same date, because the date's also incorporated, and the list price too.
But the 2 Andrews would never have the same ID. So the first Andrew you added would be 03. The next one would be 04.
Gotcha.
And so on and so on. Every single person you add, doesn't matter what their name is, will be a different ID.
Gotcha. So would you consider yourself a software guy?
No.
Okay.
He's learning though. He's like, listen.
How important is it to like actually really understand software
So
to like tell someone to make
So
software?
It will revolutionize the way you think. It's revolutionized the way I think.
So you kind of understand it now.
A little bit, but like now I want to like tinker with everything. Like I was just getting in my car, and you push the push start, and I was like, how does that push start work with this little thing here? How does it know? How does it know that this key, this fucking key here, isn't your key that you have or your key that you have, and there's something in here that sends a message to your
Letting it know,
whatever
yeah.
electronic system it is, and it's literally a password. There's numbers that are matching up.
Yeah.
So if you know what it is, you could get into anyone's Porsche and drive off into the sunset.
So like if I have a software idea, like how much would it cost to like realize that?
Yeah.
To hire a VA for $3 an hour?
You get $3 an hour in software.
Yeah, software. You'd have Hello World at the end.
But like, okay, let's say, because I have software ideas, so like if I wrote them out, like what's the next step? Do I go on Upwork? Do I go on one of these websites and find a
Yeah.
developer? Should I find one overseas for like cheaper software? Like,
Depends on how much you really want to, like if it's in depth, like we have in-house developers and we need them in-house because there's meetings every day. Sebastian's he's been at the office till almost 2 a.m. Monday through Friday for the past, 2 months. So it's like, if to do that overseas would be challenging. So it really depends on how in-depth the software is.
But for a simpler software, it could absolutely be done. So we've had plenty of things in our warehouse operations. You see Eric post the videos and stuff, and they were done from people on Upwork and Guru, a combination of them. It was challenging for sure, language barrier, time differences, and things like that. But it can be done. It gets more difficult when it becomes completely, every piece of this ERP is connected to every other piece of our business.
Gotcha. What about something like Inventory Lab? Like, because if you guys have like in-house developers, like they're there all the time working.
Mm-hmm.
So with Inventory Lab, do you think they're constant, like all day, like there's someone like working on it? Or, because I was under the impression that like once you make something like that, you just put your hands back and it just runs without you.
Yeah, so typically, like a system like that will last for like 7 to 9 years, they say. With now, like back in the day, they used to say 9 to 15. Now you can have something last for 7 to 9 years with just steady maintenance. But then after that, the information becomes outdated.
Okay.
You know, and you need to develop something brand new.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you need to upgrade the user interface. Like, let's say, even from my experience working with softwares, after a year or two working with the same software, I want to see something different. You know, so just upgrading it to make it look different.
Yeah.
Just the front end of it. You know, not the back end, not the software. The front end of it to make it, you know, change with the times, maybe a new logo, just stuff
I
like
enjoy it
that.
when Apple does that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like Instagram, just like it looks different now. All
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
sudden.
Yeah, so that's stuff to definitely maintain.
Makes it fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine if you were using it, if Apple had an update in 7 to 9 years, where would you be at? You know, you just have to, nowadays you have to keep up with the times.
Yeah.
What software, I can't even think of one. I was trying to think of one software that I used from 7 to 9 years ago. Only thing that makes sense for is video games. Throw in a little Mario Brothers.
Yeah, always a classic.
Yeah. That's speaking of Mario Brothers, like I'm gated in Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
How much of your business is just trying to get ungated and shit? Or is it pretty easy once you do wholesale? You just,
Pretty easy.
just buy something and get
You
ungated.
get a lot of just click to approve. You know, just follow the prompts and.
Does your account is it true that your account eventually just like auto ungates and everything, or is that a myth?
No, that's what happens with us, what Eric was saying. That a majority, like Nike, all those, we just had to click, you know, you need approval for it, we click this, as you're approved.
Okay. What do you think it is? Because there's people that argue about like it's your sales numbers, but I know textbook guys that have like they sell like millions, and they're still gated in like simple shit because all they sell is books.
Yeah.
Like, do you
Yeah.
think it's
Assortment
like
of categories.
okay
100%. I think it's
along with sales volume, or is it just
a
like
combination.
reach?
I'd say
Account
exactly.
health.
Health
Okay.
metrics times categories
Yeah.
equals
Reviews.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everything. Feedback rating. Amazon considers all that stuff.
gotcha. Sweet. I'm just thinking of questions for guys starting out. Like, what do people generally ask you? Like, what? Because I asked like just infrastructure, like space. Do you need like a business address?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because all that stuff's a little bit different from RA. Like RA, you just go out to Walmart, you can pack the shit up and send it out immediately. But with like landing a wholesale account, you need to have like a business address. You probably need a warehouse. Eventually, you need employees.
There are some wholesalers that you
Who
can
ship
send
to
it
your house.
to your house, and they're legitimate wholesalers. It's just the way that they operate. Others, you're gonna want to, and eventually you're gonna want to get a warehouse, and you know you can get a real inexpensive warehouse. Our first warehouse was only 1,000 square feet, you know, one loading dock, and that's all we needed.
And you guys stayed in there for how long?
About a year, right?
6 months. I think 6 months.
And what'd you get your sales up to in there? Like sales numbers per month in like 1,000 foot?
Yeah, it was,
Square foot
it was
warehouse.
good. I mean, I know that at the end of the first year,
2013.
2014,
Oh, 14.
it was like 9 million, something like that.
Wow.
8 or 9 million, I think.
And how much you
Maybe-
guys?
No, 4 million. Sorry, 4 million. It was 4 million.
What were you guys paying
It's
for that? For 1,000?
Nothing practically. I think $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, but I had to walk around outside.
To get to the
bathroom. So here's a cool story real quick. I'll share it with you. So we're in this 1,000 square foot warehouse. We've only been in there for a few months and we're already completely packed. And I have more products coming on the way. I mean, my guys can't even move. They can't even go between pallets packed. All of a sudden, the town inspector shows up. And this is like my Rockefeller moment. Not that I'm anywhere near Rockefeller status, but when he was on that train and he almost died and he didn't. But anyways, long story short, they show up. I'm like, oh shit, what's happening here? They inspect the place, electricity, everything. Then he goes, he's ready to leave. He goes, where's your bathroom? I go, oh, it's right around the corner. He's like, okay, so how do you get there? I was like, I go outside. And he's like, you can't get to your bathroom from the inside? I go, no. calls the landlord up. Landlord shows up. He's like, "Why is this guy can't get to? You know, it's against code." I had no idea.
Oh wow.
So all of a sudden, the landlord this week, place is completely packed. Right? He makes he's ready to make a hole through the wall into the guys behind us. I go, "Can you make that hole pallet size?" His name was Mitch. He's like, "Okay, yeah, sure, why not?" He makes a pallet size hole to the back. And behind me is this new trucking company that just moved into 5,000 square feet. They had just took my first load for me to Amazon. Not my first load, but the first load I
Holy
worked
shit.
with them to Amazon.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden I go in, it's about to be December, like I said, I have no room, to 5,000 square feet, and they're letting me use it because that area for them is just a transdock where products come in and go onto different trucks and go out. So they're letting me use like a corner of it, another 1,500 square feet
Wow.
for free because I'm giving them all of my Amazon shipments.
Wow.
Which at that time was like one full truckload every 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
But I mean, talk about, some things the universe has to provide you. Some things I can't even make happen. So
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a serendipitous moment. When was like the first like big aha, like, okay, I can actually make a living selling on Amazon? Did you have like success from the get go, or did you start a little bit and then like you went through like a big struggle?
It was definitely difficult in the basement. There was a lot of issues that occurred. I mean, things that most people would have quit, let's say. Account being shut down and things like that. And, we just persevered, moved forward, and, from there, instead of falling back and staying in the basement, we actually went to a warehouse, which took a lot of convincing. Humble Ted was ready to do so. I don't think his wife was as much, but Humble Ted pushed it, and it happened. We got our first warehouse, and
You were opposed to it?
no, I was
Okay.
all for the longest. It's just that my aunt wasn't, and really at that point, the business was more myself and my aunt. Right, it was me running it, and my aunt was kind of the investor at the time.
Okay.
And Ted had his full-time gig. He managed a large food company. Was a manager at a large food company for over 30 years. So he would just come in part-time, help sticker at night and stuff. So he wasn't really engulfed in the business like he is now.
Gotcha.
Then as we scaled and grew, we needed somebody with that managerial skill set, maybe some more corporate knowledge, and that's when Ted joined full-time. He left
Gotcha.
his job of 30 years. He took a risk, he gave up having a full pension for only a half a pension or whatever he gets, because he fully believed, and and we took it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that's awesome.
yeah. So everyone that's in the business has taken their own fair share of risk, definitely.
Yeah.
And it takes risk. It does take risk to grow, even to this day,
Lots of ups and downs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Loans that are out,
You guys take a lot of loans?
We have one large loan out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that pretty low interest?
Very.
Okay.
Yeah. Prime, so.
Is it from Amazon?
No.
Okay.
No, from a bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your experience with the Amazon loans?
I loved it. It helped us get to where we are.
But
I
too
hate
expensive now?
I hate the rates.
What are
but-
they, like 12% APR or something?
Yeah, it depends, but they could be anywhere from 12 to 18, I've heard, so
Some of them are lower too.
some of them are lower too, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what's a
8.
really good loan for, like, y'all's size, like, interest-wise, at this point?
3.
3?
Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
yeah, that's what we want to be. We want to be prime, so
Yeah.
whatever the current prime number is, prime plus 1.
What's prime?
Whatever interest rate number is right now, plus 1. Plus
Okay, so there's
1%.
like a-
So the bank's making like a little,
There's like a
set.
Upfront, Yeah.
okay. At what point, like, in business, are you able to get prime rates? Is that what it's called, prime rates? Is that like
Exactly.
Okay.
I think it's maybe 3 years and possibly 5 years. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then of course, so in our business, I mean, we went to some of the largest banks, and a lot of them just never had any knowledge or any experience dealing with e-commerce. So that was one of our biggest hurdles. Like, they're like, okay, well, this should be easy. We can give you a nice big loan based on your numbers. Where's your inventory? because that's going to be their collateral, right?
Yeah.
Or our inventories in Amazon. They go, oh wait, then it's not yours.
Yeah.
It's in Amazon. I go, no. Amazon's our
Yeah.
3PL. It's our 3. They're like, what's a 3PL? You know, I mean, talk about Novice. They had no idea.
Follow me on Instagram.
Try telling them it's
$250 an hour.
Yeah. It's in 27 warehouses across the country. You know.
Oh my gosh.
So it made it more difficult. It took us a while to get it, but we did get it from one of the larger international banks in the world, and it's working so far.
Did you start out with credit cards or anything?
Yeah, that's where it started. So it started with my aunt investing using her credit cards and her great credit score and all that.
Nice.
And at I put in the sweat equity.
Wow, you guys have lots of trust in your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Some people aren't like that.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. I feel like that was a lot of value. Hopefully it was value for my audience. I'm not a super wholesale guy, but I feel like a lot of people watching, like, starting out, just want to have like super basic questions answered. So where can they find you guys at? Amazon Lit on Instagram?
Yeah, at Amazon_lit on Instagram. And in the bios, the rest of our stuff. You can find us on YouTube, Amazon Lit. We're posting a ton of content. We got a great video dropping this week. It's going to be phenomenal. And you can book sessions with us.
I've heard great things about their sessions, by the way. A couple of people just are like, raving about it. So
yeah, well, we believe in bringing value. True value. And it's not like you book a session and it's like all you get is that hour. You get access to us. We answer emails, text
and like I was hitting on
calls.
earlier, I've done sessions with my clients, and like we do business together now. Yeah. I'm not sure how common that is with you guys, but with me, it's super common. So
yeah, there's lots of opportunity out there. I think if you're new, just dive in. Just go ahead and take the action. Start small. Watch the videos, but as soon as you watch them, go and take action. Because if you just watch them, you're going to find yourself being one of those people that just watches and never takes the action.
Yeah.
And that's because it's fear. If you're not taking action, you're like one more video. That's your fear kicking in.
Yeah.
And you talk about mentors. I like Jim Rohn, Grant Cardone, Gary. They all talk about taking action.
Yeah.
They all talk about it.
What's that? Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Peace out. Subscribe, like, unsubscribe. Do what you got to do. Peace out, family.
Stay lit.
Check, yeah.
Sweet. That was awesome.